Hey guys, I'm back. I figured I'd come back and start doing these videos all over again because last videos I did get a few comments and some messages saying they really appreciated my content. I don't really do a lot of the, let's say, advertising for these. I just kind of want to put these out there. If they can help some people out, all the better. So I decided to do one that I feel would probably help some of you guys out, which would be things you can do to make the most of your 20s. If you want me to keep making videos like this, I do appreciate if you guys can hit the like and subscribe. I do want to grow this a little bit, just so for the people who really do need assistance or advice from someone who's older. So ideally, if you guys have any questions, put it down in the comments, and yeah, I'll make a video of it, and hopefully we can both work together and kind of answer your questions. All right, enough of that. We're gonna go into this video. I've kind of ranted for a little bit. So, this is what you can do to make the most of your 20s. First thing that comes to mind is reading. Reading. Because I have a mentor, and he gives me a lot of books I can read, gives me suggestions, articles, all this good stuff, as well as very good advice. But I do think people underestimate the value of reading. You're incorporating someone else's knowledge, meaning someone who's lived basically double your lifetime, maybe even triple, has put their life knowledge in a book for you. So all you have to do is pick up a book and read it. A few recommendations I'd probably say start with is Who, Not How by Dan Sullivan. I believe 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. That's a classic, as well as How to Win Friends and Influence People. I know a lot of guys these days don't read. It's I guess not cool, but I do think it's something that if you can read a little bit, what I do is 10 pages a day. It's not a lot, but most books are about say 250-ish on average. Some are a little bit smaller, some are a little bit larger. So if you start reading about 10 pages a day, you can knock out 10 pages in 15, 30 minutes depending on how slow or fast you read. So do that, get it out, find a book each month, because that's a book a month if you do it that way. Find a book each month that you can just quickly get out of there and just read, understand, and apply to your life. That's the first one. The second one would be to learn skills. I know it doesn't really sound like it sounds obvious. Obviously, it's like, of course I'm going to learn skills. I'm going to school. I mean, if I don't want to learn skills, why would I even go to school? Fair enough. But I just mean expand the skills. I think one thing that really helped me, or is currently helping me, because I am still in my 20s. I'm like, later, but still in my 20s. Is one things a few skills that I've learned that really help me out is public speaking. That's always a good skill, and some hard skill like a tech skill. So I do programming in my free time. I do have a few projects out there, some few businesses in terms of programming related. But I do think, and by the way, I did not go to school for programming. I went to school for molecular biology, which I still find interesting, and I don't regret doing that. But my main occupation now revolves around programming. So I do think people need to develop a skill that, if it comes down to it, they can use it to make some extra income on the side off, that's apart from their main job or their day job or whatever. So I'm telling you, if you can, learn a hard skill and something that, if let's say for example you wanted to make a business out of it, that's always a good option. Let's say the third one I'd probably say is networking. I think networking is probably one of the more underrated parts, especially for those in college. Uh, I know back in college we all want to go out, have fun, party, drink, all that good stuff. And yeah, it's all fun and games for reals, and it's very enjoyable. I'm trying to like loop my arm through this thing here so I don't like knock on the microphone. What was I? Oh yeah, it's probably fun to just go out, drink, party. If you're in college right now, a big tip I'll give you is start, I guess, noticing people who have potential. I guess I can phrase it that way. Because this is time you're going out, enjoying your youth. Know people out there who have potential and then kind of keep in contact with them. Down the line, I will say it does come in handy to know people with connections. It's really about who you know and not really as much what you know in terms of success. If you want to be really, really successful, you need to focus on the who and not the how. And which is probably was one of the things I learned in that book I told you about, Who, Not How by Dan Sullivan. It was one of the more recent books I read this year. Give it a shot. I'm definitely sure you guys are going to like it. Let's see. I did make a list of this. Let me see if I can find the list. Oh, yeah. Another one is to invest. Invest, invest, invest. And you don't really have to invest a lot because at this age, we don't really have a lot of money. Because remember when I was like in my early 20s, I didn't have as much money as I do now. So it's something that you should just put some money aside. And I don't mean just in savings, because a lot of people just say, "Oh, I'm just gonna save and that's it, so I'll have money down the line." Keep in mind, down the line, when you do get this money, the tax rates are gonna be a lot different from what they are now. Even though yes, they are increasing right now, but in the little future up there, man, it's not gonna be the same. I can tell you that right now. It's not gonna be the same. So when you have a chance, just kind of put some money out in a little investment pocket. I don't know. You probably need to read what's good to invest in. Obviously, you gotta go with a Roth IRA if you're doing something more like through your work. If your work, if they have that option, you should go for that so that you pay taxes now versus later. That's what a Roth IRA does. What it does is, instead of paying taxes later when you retrieve the money, you pay the taxes now. And this is assuming the taxes later will be a lot more expensive than the taxes now, so that you can keep as much of your money as possible. Obviously, if it's the reverse, that is, the taxes now are worse than the taxes in the future, then a regular IRA is fine. But I mean, come on, with the debt we have currently, plus COVID, plus all the stimulus money going around, I mean, come on, the taxes are gonna be a lot higher down the line. So, God help us. And I believe, let's see what's on my list. Lists are nice. I really do like lists. Make things a lot easier to read, to be honest. I guess the last two, actually. I do have two written down right here. And keep on top of the latest technology. So right now we have like a lot of things popping up. There's the Bitcoin, which is related to blockchain. There's new platforms coming out like TikTok. There are a lot of things like this. Personally, I know what TikTok is, but TikTok is just one of those things that I can't. I feel if I want to lose brain cells, I'll go to TikTok, or look at TikTok, because I see TikTok on my feed, so either Facebook, YouTube, whatever. TikTok is just all over the damn place. New technology, I would recommend to keep track of all of that, because one of the things I know that affected my parents down the line, and you probably can relate to this, especially your grandparents, well, probably more severely, is they lose touch towards what the new technology is, to the point that they can't even take advantage of that technology now. So you don't want to be like your grandma, say 10, 15, 30 years down the line. Most you can do right now is just at least keep it in the back of your mind. Google it. You don't have to use it profusely. Just at least know how it works, what it does, and what demographic it targets. Just those three things alone should at least keep you on top of the ball when it comes to these new fangled technology. And the last thing is, remember to have fun. You're in your 20s. Don't overstress yourself too much, and don't understress yourself. Like, you're young. You're only gonna be young once. So take advantage of that to have fun, see places, do things you can only do when you're young. But also have a weight tied to you, responsibility. Because I think the worst thing you can do is party your 20s away and then try to pick up on your 30s. And yeah, that's not gonna work. It's just not gonna work because as a man, your 20s are pretty much your prime in terms of investment, and I mean personal investment, not monetary investment. Your 20s are your prime in terms of personal investment, and I'll tell you why. Males, their testosterone starts. We start our testosterone starts going up when we turn. I want to say 16, but it's sometime in our mid teenage years. So that starts going up, and then it kind of like takes a mad dip once we hit, I believe it is 27. Somewhere in our late 20s, it starts to dip because that's around the time when guys start, find a family, settle down, and go from, more of like a hunter role to more of a protector role. You have to protect your family and whatnot. So I do think you need to use the time you have in your 20s to develop good habits that can kind of carry you through the rest of your life. Because if you party a lot in your 20s and you get to your 30s, you're not gonna be ready for your 30s. Two, you're gonna need a coping mechanism, and you're gonna resort to your default actions, which, by the way, are the habits you've developed in your 20s. So let's say you like to go out and party and drink and all that stuff. What's gonna happen is when you get in your 30s and things get difficult, you're gonna have to resort to partying, drinking, which can lead to having like an alcohol addiction or some other kind of drug addiction, honestly. So, again, I know I say so a lot, kind of a habit I'm trying to break, but honestly, I do think that if possible, put aside some time. Right now in your 20s, put aside some time. Say a couple of hours a day. This can increase as you get more comfortable, but at least for now, a couple of hours a day to just focus on building yourself, building a skill, going to the gym, developing habits that can help you slowly but surely become the man you want to become in the future. And that's kind of the main things I can tell you. I believe, other channels are probably going to tell you something similar to what I just told you, because overall, the rules are still the same. I can say it one way, they can say it another way. But yeah, I hope you find this video helpful. If you did, hit like, subscribe. Again, I'm just gonna try and grow this a little bit because I do know there are some guys out there who kind of need a little bit of guidance. Even if I'm just like a big brother to you guys, that's okay. Main thing is you guys are actually benefiting from my wisdom and the wisdom of other guys, especially the mentors I've had. Stay cool. Catch you later.